Today's episode, I want to talk about the DJI Osmo. It's basically a drone, but with feet. So there's been a lot of talk about gimbals over the last couple of years. I got into the gimbal game, I like that. About 8 months ago, I bought a DJI Osmo. So this was the most affordable thing I could get my hands on at the time. A lot of the smaller handheld gimbals for mirrorless cameras and DSLRs hadn't come out yet, and this just seemed like it was too good to be true. So I bought one. I think they retail at about $700. If that's not the right price, I'll throw it up here. So let's just get right into it. So this is the DJI Osmo. It's quite small, as you can see. It's made out of a rubberized kind of like textured, kind of like the front of a DSLR or a mirrorless camera on the back. So that's the handle. It's weird because it's on the back. I don't know if you can tell, it's on my palm side. I would have preferred if it was in the front, but anyways, that's where it is. Battery's on the bottom, right there. Takes a proprietary battery, looks like this. I have two, they last about 2 hours when you're shooting in 2.7K. So on the side here, you have this little bit right here. I'll turn it towards you. That's where you put your phone. So let's see how that looks. Let's put my phone in there. That's basically it. So that's your screen. That's how you're monitoring the actual device. Camera's up on top. Got a little lens cap on here. Let's get that off. So you can see the camera's there. It's actually sideways right now because the gimbal's not unlocked. So you unlock the gimbal by turning the camera this way, turning that. You unlock this. Then with this little lever on the side, he comes to life. There he is. There's the camera. So 20mm equivalent on a really tiny sensor. I'm not even sure how big it is. Tap this thing 3 times and it goes into selfie mode, which I never use because it's distorted and fisheyed. Tap it twice and it goes back. Now I always use this with an ND filter. It's the same ones that go on the Inspire, so if you're looking for them you can look on Amazon. Newer with 2 E's makes one. It's a variable, it's kind of a piece of crap. The one I bought is actually made for the Inspire. I don't know the name of the brand, to be honest. Micro SD, right there. Let's turn her off. So what is this thing good for? Sweeping landscapes, tracking shots, following a subject. The only thing with the Osmo is that if you're not using it in ideal lighting conditions, it kind of looks like shit. Yeah. So the slow-mo feature, there's like a built-in slow-mo. It's not very good. It's, I think it's like 720p. It must be downscaling the sensor, so it's cropping in. And it's just, it's muddy on the edges. It's not sharp. It's not clear. It's the slow-mo feature itself, like the actual motion looks fantastic. But to actually use it, I would just shoot in 60 and slow down a little bit in post. Maybe use optical flow if you're a Final Cut user. Again, landscapes. It's great for big vistas. But if there's a lot of detail in there, you're risking not being able to get all that detail. It's a really small sensor. Just look at the size of how small this is right now. Like, it's tiny. Look, it has its place. Like I said at the beginning, it's kind of a drone with feet. So a lot of times, if I can get up high on a building, like I had a client who was a landscaping artist. I got up on the roof of their garage where they keep all their trucks, and I kind of just hung my arm off the top, and with some controlled motions, you can kind of make it feel like a drone on the cheap. You're not going to be taking off and flying into the horizon with it, so there's that. So let's just run through the gauntlet of some kinds of shots that I've taken with it, so you can get an idea of what it looks like. So like I said, it's great for following subjects, it's great for tracking, it's great for just big epic kind of shots. You're stuck with a fixed lens, so you're not going to be able to get anything crazy as far as depth of field. You know, everything's kind of in focus. If something gets too close, the hyperfocal distance is quite far, so you're not going to be able to focus on it. So for a dialogue scene, this is not it for like a one-up. Even if you want to do something crazy with a wide angle, a 22mm equivalent, it's pretty wide, and it's not going to get those details on the face. So I never shoot in 4K because I find the compression is terrible. It just can't handle it. What I like to do is shoot with this thing in 2.7K because I feel like I don't know, it looks a little bit better. I shoot because there's no art mode on this. I shoot in a neutral kind of flat profile that I've kind of customized in the menus, and that's about all she wrote. I think footage speaks for itself. It's a lot of fun. It inspires you to get shots that you would not normally get. You can just toss it in your bag and you're good to go most of the time. It comes with a little hard case. It comes with a little strap so you don't drop it. I've almost dropped it a few times. The only thing is when you drop it with this strap, the intense bang is probably terrible for the gimbal and the phone comes flying right out. That's another thing that I absolutely hate about it, that it doesn't have a dedicated screen. Maybe rent it, try it out, see if you like it. I'm sure something new will be out in the next couple of weeks, if not already by the time you've watched this. But I bought it and I don't regret it. I've had a lot of fun with it. I've shot some great stuff on it. Would I suggest buying it? It depends. Look, if you know what you want to shoot with it, absolutely. But that can be said for any piece of kit. So if you know what you want to do with it, use it. If not, don't. It's really that simple, because gear is only as important as the person using it. If you know how to use your gear, even the crappiest piece of gear is fantastic. If you know how to use your gear properly, if you know how to use this, you know how to get it to expose to the light you need it to, it'll give you fantastic results. If you don't and you shoot on auto, it'll look like just absolute garbage, and you'll be like, wow, I spent all my money on this and I'm not a famous filmmaker yet. So yeah, DJI Osmo, I love it. What do you guys think? Do you have one? Do you want to buy one? Is this way too late in the review game? I don't know, you let me know. If you like this video, like and subscribe. My name is Phil. I just filmed this. I hope you like it, and I'll see you in the next video if you remember to subscribe. Otherwise, you're going to have to look for me. Also, do you guys like this new background? You guys like this new background better than the computer? Because that's my wall. I really like this black wall. I got my little pillow. It says create. Create. Create with the DJI Osmo.